Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about how to simulate the stock price movement using the historical data. So I will start with the Yahoo Finance website, and let's say I'm looking at IIM. So if I click on this, I'll get this symbol, and I can click on the historical data, and then let's say I choose for 5 years of data. So I say 5 years and I say done, and then I say apply. So when I do apply, it will basically show me the whole data, and I can actually download this data in an Excel sheet. So this is how the data will look like. So let me zoom into it, and now you can see I have date and all the prices at different dates. So I can delete all of these. I can choose just one opening price. And now what I'll do is I will calculate the daily changes in the stock price. So I'll call this one as change, and that will be equal to log of today's price divided by yesterday's price. And this is how it will go. And I can double click on it to get all the prices. So if I go into the end, I'll see that the last value will not work because we don't have any more data, so I have to delete this one. Now the total number of points at this stage is 1257, and because the first row itself is a label, so I will call it as 1256. So what I will do now is I will create a random number. So that random number will be RAND between. So basically it will give me a number between 1 and 1256. So now you can see how this works. It is 615. I double click on it, enter again, 961. So it will give me a random number between 1 and 1256. Now I again select this, double click, and basically I get a lot of random numbers here. So this is how I'll generate a random number. Now the idea is that I will use this random number, so and then select this random number to choose a random change from this changes which happen in the history. So let's say we call it random change. So basically how it will work, I'll say small, and I will select this array. So call this as 1256, and then I will select the random number. So what it is doing is for in this example, so it will use this array and take the 943rd number when these changes are in the ascending order. So if I double click on this, I'll see that this numbers are changing, but I have to put a dollar mark here because I don't want the reference to change. And now you can see this is how the random change will look like. Now once we have the random change, now the fun part will begin. We will simulate the price. So how it will start? So we'll start with the today's price, and then we'll say that the new price will be equal to today's price multiply with exponential of the random change. And now you can see that if I double click on it, this will give me the price. And if I plot this, this is how this will look like. So I think I did an error here. So this one is correct. So let me check here. Yes, so it looks fine now. So I'll click on this one, and this is how the chart will look like. So I'll delete this, and I can say axis title vertical, axis title horizontal. So this is the trading days, and this one is the price. So this is how the stock price looks like. So please remember that this is not what is going to happen. This is one of the odd which can happen, right? So if I double click on this and press again, now this is another odd which can happen. If I double click on this again and press enter, now why I'm getting this, let me look into this. So I'm getting this number, I think the random number should be selected between 55. So now if I do it again or do it again, yes, so this is how my price or different simulations will give me a different trend for the stock. So you will say that if I can't predict the stock price, then what's the point of this simulation? So we will talk about this. For that thing we have to do several simulations together. So right now I have divided this into 3 steps, right? So these are the 3 steps. So I will convert these 3 steps into 1 step, right? So how will I convert that? So first let's look at the this formula. So if I look at this formula, I'm using E3 here. So what I'll do is I'll copy the E3 formula and I'll paste it here. So I'll say E3, for that I'll paste it here. So this is how it will go. It will say small, and now this is how it looks like. So I'll copy this all the way. So now this is still working, but I don't need E3 now. So you can see that this is how it goes. Now if I look at this formula again, I'm using D3. So what I'll do is I'll take the D3 formula and I will copy that here. And now if I click this, still working, I don't need D3. So now I have the price and I can copy this price here. So this is how the price will look like. Now no border, right? Now if I look at this, so this is the initial price and this is the price formula, and I'll make sure that I don't have everything is fixed. So if I copy this formula again here, it will give me, yes, this one is not fixed, so I have to change this one. I have to put a $sign here, dollar and dollar. Now you can see if I copy this formula here, then it will give me exactly the same simulation but with a different random numbers. So now if I say select data and I add this one into it to 1256, so you can see I have select data. Let me remove this and add it again, and y value 56. So I got it. I was putting it as a series name, so that was my mistake. So now if I do this, I can see 2 curves here. So now if I do this, you can see that I have 2 simulations in the same graph. So what if we have many simulations like that? So how will I achieve that? I'll copy this and I paste it here again, and let me zoom out and do several copy pasting like this. So I'll say copy and paste, and then I'll do copy and paste, and I'll do one more copy and paste. and one more, copy and paste. Now you can see that I have simulated the same curve several times. Now if I zoom out and I select all this data from here to here. Now once all the data is selected, I'll click on insert and I will say stack line graph line, and if I delete this, no, it didn't work. Let me try this again. Insert, yes, so this one worked. And let me zoom back. Now if I zoom into this graph, this is how the graph looks like. Now this is the same graph but many simulations instead of the simulations we had. And let me delete this one. Now what's the idea? So the idea is that if you look here, now let's see, if I click on this one and press enter again, all the simulations will repeat, and I'll get an entirely different curve. If I do this again, all the simulations will repeat and I'll get a different numbers. Now why this is important? So the idea is that if you look at this chart, so I think it's the computational power is not that much there, so it's a bit slow. But if you look at this chart, now we started with a similar price of around 15 on day one, right? Now if you look at after suppose 317 days, so in 317 days this stock price can go either to 10 or 20, right? So you can see that there is a range we are talking about. But now if I go to 633 days, that thing will change either to 8 or it can go to 20, right? And if you are looking at 5 years total, like around 1200 days, then it will give me the stock price from 6 to maybe 25. So we have the range. So now if you are writing a call or a put option, you know the likelihood of where the stock price is going to go. So if we are talking about put option for 317 trading days, we know that after 10 it is not very likely that it will go anywhere. So therefore put at 10 should not hold a lot of value, and similarly call at 20 should not hold any value for this time period. But it does hold value when it goes to the 5-year range. So this data, although these are only few simulations, we need to do many simulations to get a very accurate result here. This is just an example, but from this data we can get the range where stock can go, and from that we can calculate the value of the options or even assess our risk associated with the stock based on pure historical data. Again, anything can happen to stock. The company can shut down, or some drastic political event can happen that can result in a drastic change, but this simulation is based on what happened in past 5 years. So based on that, this is what we get. So I hope this video helps, and if you have any comments, please let me know, or if you would like me to make any kind of video related to stock pricing, please let me know and I can work on it. So